that everyone speaks English. The last time I performed comedy, it was in Kenya, and everyone spoke Swahili. I'm very thankful that there wasn't a Q&A after, and they still laughed because I think they just knew they were at a comedy show and they should probably laugh. Speaking of Kenya, I got about 10 marriage proposals while I was there in the span of 10 days. One guy told me that I should learn Swahili before we get married, after meeting him only a day before that. Luckily, I haven't learned Swahili, so I think I'm off the hook. Another story about my trip to Kenya, we were trying to get to the airport and we missed our flight because we got pulled over 3 times because the police thought that the person driving us, who's a little person, was underage and not able to drive us, so that was fun. And we were also delayed because he decided to get a haircut in the village where he lived an hour away from the airport.
True story.
So I grew up with a lot of average friends. I didn't get involved in LPA until 2003. And soon after going to one of the conventions, one of my friends I was with on a trip, and we went to Starbucks. She happens to be my height. I asked her if she could reach a straw, and she looked at me like a deer in headlights. She was not able to reach me a straw, and I just had to drink my drink without it. Another story that one of my friends told me recently, he does online dating, he's average height, but he went on a blind date because he had never met the girl, but the girl really was blind. So she told him that she needed to bring her seeing eye dog, and he said, well, the dog's not going to lick me because I'm allergic to saliva. And she said, don't worry, he'll be working. But the best conversation they had that night, it happened to be around Oscar season, and she said to him, you know what? My favorite movie of all time is The Artist. The Artist is a silent film. We don't know how that was her favorite movie. I'm often out with friends in funny situations, but I've always been prepared by living at home with my average height family. I have one sister who's average height. My parents are both average height. My dad's above average, 6'4". They always joked with me when I was younger that my dad wanted 2 kids and my mom wanted 1, so they settled at 1.5. I'm okay with that. One of my roommates, who also happens to be a little person, was out with her sister, who's average height, and they ended up going to the DMV. The counter at the DMV was a lot higher than my roommate, so her sister had to talk to the person on the other end of the counter. But she was the one talking behind the counter, and her sister was just standing there. So the person at the DMV said, I've never seen a ventriloquist before. So many predicaments with a little person, but it's funny. It's funny how people react. One of my friends, she was with me in front of her group of friends who I'd never met before. I told her I was going to get a coffee, and she said, do you know that coffee stunts your growth? I think I'm wrapping up, because this is my first attempt at combining comedy and speaking, but thank you, and
Becky Curran, speaker extraordinaire.